Okay, I also want to go across to Professor Swaran Singh, who's joining us from the Center for International Politics at the Jawaharlal Nehru University. Tara Karta is former director at the National Security Council Secretariat. I want to go across, yes, Professor Singh first. A lot of nice things are being said, and obviously, India and China are in the process of normalization of ties, but central to it is the boundary dispute. We had Wang Yi here last week, and they agreed to an early harvest. We don't know quite what the contours of an early harvest are. But ultimately, the first of those three steps, disengagement, has concluded, but we are far away from de-escalation or de-induction. We still have 50,000 troops on either side of the line of actual control. Do we know in terms of timelines or processes as to how soon we can get to a pre-2020 position? Because it's not normal for two neighbors, two large countries, to have this kind of a standoff continuing, even though they haven't fired at each other in the last 5 years since the Galwan clashes happened.
That's right. After their initial disengagement, de-escalation is apparently taking longer time. And therefore, the focus now is to create atmospherics on the line of actual control. And that is where the opening up of Kailash Mansarovar Yatra is now going to be followed by opening up border trade in three border points of Lepulek, Shipkila, and Nathula. And that should perhaps make the environment little more stable to then think of de-induction, as you just mentioned. So when we talk of early harvest or low-lying fruits, it's some of these actions. And I think since Chinese want to focus on the overall relationship while India wants to focus on the border, India is reciprocating in that sense in allowing easy visas for Chinese nationals, first with technical staff, now also with managerial staff. And Prime Minister just announced direct flights. We had 9 sectors till 2019, about 335 flights every month. It may not start with a big bang of that nature, but I think some of these direct flights are likely to be allowed in that sense, agreeing to what Chinese want to focus on overall meeting. Let me also underline the fact that this meeting is taking place before the Shanghai Cooperation Summit meeting takes place. And some of the understandings will also guide now the language that will flow into the Shanghai Cooperation Organization deliberations and the outcome final document, in which case India would underline the concerns about terrorism, indirectly talking about China's connections with Pakistan as well, because Shanghai Cooperation Organization fundamentally is focusing on energy security and extremism, separatism, and terrorism. So I think this meeting preceding rest of the meetings would also kind of set the tone. And in that sense is a recognition from China how India is the second most important country in Shanghai Cooperation Organization after China. And, he's meeting President Putin later during the day. Again, that also showcases that he's meeting Indian Prime Minister first. And the triangular meeting of Putin, Xi, and Indian Prime Minister is on Monday, which again, I think Rahul mentioned how India is trying to have balance in that sense, not appear kind of completely bandwagoning, because language between Moscow and Beijing often is very different.
Yeah.
They have no limits partnership in that sense. So India is ensuring that balance and setting the tone in the following deliberations that will come from here, ensuring that India's interests and India's concerns are highlighted in those deliberations and